Hello and welcome to this week's Live Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. In this week's show, Lee from Prime UK Band will be having a fascinating chat with Asa from local electro indie rockers Robson. And we'll also be playing the very best local music from local bands. First up on today's show, and released back in March of this year, is the incredibly talented Stevefaulkner and Armour Plated Soul. That was Stevefaulkner, a local stalwart on the local music scene. Really talented chap and lovely chap as well. And Armoured Plated Soul. I think it's time we got a bit of gypsy folk pirate music on the show now. So here's the Whiskey Rebellion and Love Lost on the Seven Seas.
Eyes I've ever seen, deep blue as the water on the seven open seas. Whoa, the seven open seas. He had the lightest fingers and his skill smashed by night. Still your heartbeat with a kiss, your wallet with a gun. Whoa, your wallet with a gun. Until the day he reached for more than he could ever use. And the Lord had told him it'd be the new one on the news. So they sent him away across the ocean wide, where he will no more sing his songs by my side. They cast him away to the colonies. Now the ocean lies in between him and me, somewhere between the heavens and the sea. Find my love so true. The journey was torment, just played to cap the crew. Whoa, whoa. Played to cap the crew. I poured all step fast, so there was not I wanted more. To rejoin my darling from that cold and distant shore. Whoa, whoa. That cold and distant shore. Though my faith had died 9 months ago, my love I cannot lose. I swore for me that it would be the new one on the loose. So they sent him away across the ocean wide, where he will no more sing his songs by my side. They cast him away to the colonies. Now the ocean lies in between him and me, somewhere between the heavens and the sea. But now my heart's a failing, brother, I found him here. He lies outside my reach, beyond the Boston Pier. They say the passengers aboard the ship turn black and blue. The color it took him and took my poor heart too. Down till he was 10 fathoms deep, where he could no more hear my cries or hold me when I weep. Whoa, whoa. Or hold me when I weep. And one day soon I'll join him beneath the distant sea, for no ocean, hell or heaven can keep him away from me. Whoa, whoa. Keep him away from me. My hands are numb, my mouth is dry, my limbs are tired and sore. I'd rather drown than just become some bad merchant's whore. So they sent him away across the ocean wide, where he will no more sing his songs by my side. They cast him away to the colonies. Now the ocean lies in between him and me, somewhere between the heavens and the sea. So they sent him away across the ocean wide, where he will no more sing his songs by my side. They cast him away to the colonies. Now the ocean lies up above him and me, and we'll both rot at the bottom of the sea.
That was the Whiskey Rebellion and Love Lost on the Seven Seas. Amazing band to watch they are. Seen them many times. I think there's about 7 or 8 of them on the stage. They just look like they're having a great big party. Brilliant. Another band who's great to see is Uncle Frank. fronted by Frank Bembini, who also plays the drums for Fun Loving Criminals. So here's Uncle Frank and Let It Burn.
Let it burn, let it burn. The sun's gonna burn your eyes out tonight, so let it burn.
That was Uncle Frank and Let It Burn. Great band to watch live. I remember I saw them in Simon Says, I think it was, in 2017, where they did an amazing tribute to Prince, who is one of Uncle Frank's inspirations. So yeah, great band to see live. So that's Uncle Frank. Now it's time to hear from one of my favourite local rock bands from 2018. Here's Graves and Lost Control.
Gotta come home, bullet you from you. Oh, how'd it run, got them down into in your palm. Show come. man got a plan. Man to thrill. How they died with your life. Now the travel through hell to yeah. Your farm, broken, 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 one bullet away from self-execution. Thank God for your second opinion. Show me my face. Your distrust only empowers me. Your distrust helps me. Nothing will change. I'm free. Gotta go. No more run, no more run. Red, white, and blue. Blue, white, and blue. Not a breath I got. Not a breath I got. Love that God. Love that God. Blue, white, and blue. Blue, white, and blue. Blue, white, and blue. Blue, white, and blue. Now I know I do. Now I know I do. Blue, white, and blue. Blue, white, and blue.
That was Graves and Lost Control. Now it's time for this week's interview where Lee from Prime UK Band has a fascinating chat with young Asa, who's the frontman of local indie rockers Robson. But first of all, we're going to play one of Robson's songs, so here's The Eviction Party by Robson.
We are live, local and loud. I'm Lee from Prime UK Band. That was the track The Eviction Party by my guest today, Asa from the electronic rock band Robson. How are you today, fella?
Yeah, I'm really good, thanks.
Keeping ready to roll for the lockdown?
Yeah, just, trying to just plod on with it really and not think about it too much.
Stocked up on toilet roll, all that malarkey.
Yeah.
That track is from your brand new EP, which you released quite recently, about a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
Could you tell me a bit more about the release, how it all came about and everything?
Well, there was I do another band called Blitz Vega, and I try and bring out, when there's a bit of a gap from that, then I try and bring out something for Robson, either video or new single. And I had some tracks that I thought would go well together as an EP, so we put them all together and then got it out. So
it's kind of based around like collaborations with, like, you like to get different vocalists in there, don't you? Really like spice up the sound and things like that. And where was the latest EP recorded?
So this one, most of it was recorded in Los Angeles, and then some of it was recorded in Leicester, and then it was mastered at the Bakery in LA.
Fantastic! Yeah. You've got a really good producer working on the master for you. I think.
Yeah, Peter Hewitt Dutton. I actually met him in LA, through a friend of mine called Chris Dampier, and we got on really well, and we just stayed in touch, and we've got a lot of similar music tastes. And then I came back, and he was working at Metropolis in London, and we went down to see him. And when I heard what he was doing with the songs, he was just a perfect person to work with. So
he's worked with big names in the past, like Zeppelin and Oasis. I think
he's done. When we went down to see him at Metropolis, I was walking in and he was doing Led Zeppelin, and I was like,
no pressure there.
Yeah, so that was a bit crazy, but yeah, he's just worked with so many people, and he's brilliant though. He really, he's brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to play a track by which is off your first EP. We'll go back, and then we'll talk about like the first time you went to the LA and things like that in a second. This is a song by Robson called "The Paths We Take." It's got a guest vocal by Danielle Espinosa on it, so we will give that a spin now for the listeners. We are live, local and loud. That was The Paths We Take, which is by the band Robson. I'm here with the singer Aza today. How did you first get to Los Angeles to record? How did that all come about for the first time?
Well, I was living in London, and my friend Cav, he asked me to go out and play keyboards for him in his solo band. So I obviously went for it.
To fill people in a little bit, Cav's had worked for quite a few years with Happy Mondays, hasn't he?
Yes. So basically, I first knew Cav. Cav was playing in a band called AKA Weave in Leicester, and I was in a band called Obscure. And then later on, I was in a band briefly called Lender. But at that point, there was quite a close-knit community around the bands in Leicester, playing at the Charlotte and different places. And so I knew Cav from then, and we were quite good mates. And then as the years went on, we were really good mates, and he's gone on to do various things, and he ended up sort of getting the Happy Mondays back together for Get Loaded in the Park, which was a festival what he put on to go alongside his night that he had in London called Get Loaded. So when he was in the Happy Mondays, he played at Coachella, and he really liked it out in LA, so decided he wanted to try and make that his base. So when he started doing his solo stuff, that he needed a keyboard player, and he asked me if I'd want to go out to do it.
So you built up all your different projects in that base in LA, and obviously got Daniel on the guest vocal for that particular track as well.
Yeah, so with Danielle, I started recording The Paths We Take in Leicester with my friend Greg Gent at his place, and then when I took it out there and it needed to be finished, and I always planned on having a female vocal on it. So I just found her purely by chance on YouTube, just going down rabbit holes, and I've just found her. She was singing an Amy Winehouse cover of All My Lovin' by the Beatles, and she was just sitting on a bed singing it, and then it turned out she just lived like a couple of miles down the road. So I managed to find out she was in her own project called Welfare. And I went down and met her, and I sent her some of the songs. She came down to the studio, and she just smashed them. She ended up singing on about 4 or 5 songs. Yeah, and she's just brought out a song called No Looking Away under her own name. So yeah, check it out. It's really, really good. Yeah.
It's if everyone wants to scroll back and check all these different names and things like that. So what's the situation then with you? You're going back and forth to LA. Do you tend to have a certain amount of time that you try and stay there for, or and do you play live in LA with the band as well, or? So
it depends what's going on, but now obviously we're sort of with. Well, most of us are back here now, cool. But in England. But the last time I was out there was in November, and then the time before that was we was in there. We did a live show for Blitz Vega in July.
Mm-hmm. Which Blitz Vega's also got Andy Rourke from the Smiths in as well.
Yeah. So when I was out doing Cav solo stuff, he then started a new band with Andy, and they asked me to play keyboards for that. So so that was brilliant. Yeah.
Is he based in LA as well normally now, Andy? Or?
He's based in New York.
Based in New York.
Yeah. So he'll like go over to LA, and they'll work on different stuff, and then the band came together to do a show in LA, and then we did some recording at Abbey Road as well for Blitz Vega, and we did a TV show thing for This Feeling, but because of COVID and everything, it sort of stopped everything in its tracks a bit with that.
Just when it was getting really exciting, and you've had to.
Yeah, we was open to doing festivals and all sorts of stuff, but hopefully when it all comes back around, we'll be there.
Of course. Well, we'll talk about Abbey Road in a second. I'm going to play a track that's also got a video online featuring Cav on vocals, I believe, and that's called "All the Love in the World Couldn't Help You." So we shall play that track by Robson right now.
As the bombs drop, the world rocks. Virtual wizards, planet runs. Chaos causes manipulators. Wheels of darkness, stupid geezers. I'll take the ticket, gas the panic, dance the panic. Monster addicts, verbal haters, troll chasers, spiritual leaders, psychic dealers.
I'm Lee Heir from Prime UK Band. We are live, local and loud, and that particular track was All the Love in the World Couldn't Help You, featuring Cav, and that's a track by Robson, which was XFM's single of the week, I believe, and this feeling single of the week as well. So got a lot of exposure, that particular track. I'm here with Asa, the brainchild behind that particular group, and also you mentioned a minute ago you were recording with Blitz Vega in Abbey Road. Do you want to tell me a bit more about the experience of going there? Because that was a big thing for you.
Yeah, it was brilliant. So we went in there and we did a live EP. I think we did 6 or 7 tracks, and it was in Studio 2. So obviously, because of the Beatles and everything, for all of us, we're all big Beatles fans. It was a massive day, and it was crazy. But yeah, it's hard to describe what it's like because you're trying to take in so much, and it's like a mad dream.
I feel like you're recording more in a museum than actually in a studio sometimes.
But they've still got like the piano. What they did, Lady Madonna on, is there, and it's just mad. It's crazy, but it was everything that like we hoped it would be. But yeah, and from the songs what I've heard, what we did, they've come out really well. So yeah, we're all looking forward to getting them out.
You got quite big recording plans with the that had to be rescheduled. You were saying I think for Blitz Vega coming up, that trying to reschedule those.
Yeah, so we were hoping for Robson we were hoping to go to Rockfield to do some recording with Nick Bryan, but we're probably going to have to do that next year because of the lockdown and everything. So yeah, but there's some stuff, hopefully some more stuff coming out for Blitz Vega pretty soon.
So that's Rockfield's almost like a indie museum, which is like what Abbey Road is to.
I was lucky. I recorded there before with a band that I was in called Lender, and I managed to spend some time with them before I joined, and so I've been there quite a bit, and that is a really special place. The documentary is really good as well.
Really good. One of the lads in Prime was telling me about that the other week. They've captured it really well in that documentary. It's brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really looking forward to all the different music that comes out. Obviously, you can check out Robson, and it's at Robson Music UK, and obviously all the tracks are there. Flick back, have a make a note of all these great tracks to check out, and hopefully plenty more good gigs for you in the new year, mate. Hope it all gets a little bit easier for you.
Yeah, nice one, Lee. And just everyone just try and look out for each other during this lockdown.
Yeah, chin up and just keep positive best we can.
Yeah, that's it. All the best. Nice one.
All the best, mate. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
That was Lee from Prime UK Band chatting to Asa from local indie rockers Robson. Quite an interesting little chat there. Now we're going to hear from Mab with a song featuring Charlie Jones, who is from Charlie and the Martyrs. And Charlie also featured in one of Robson's songs as well. So here's Mab featuring Charlie Jones and Return Me to Peace.
Cold as a decade, old as a rose. Love for you barters, my heart's unfroze. Bring in my shackles, sing me to sleep. Allow me to shudder while killers walk the streets. Return me to peace. Return me to peace. Return me to peace. Return me to peace. Sold in a window, seal of betrayal, judged by a preacher, destined to fail. Hang up your heartache and try not to weep. Suffer in silence, betrayals bittersweet. Return me to peace. Return me to peace. Return me to peace.
Beautiful song. That was Mab there, and Return Me to Peace, featuring Charlie Drones from Charlie and the Martyrs. Mab himself is also the frontman of Super Evolver, who we haven't heard anything of for a few years now. So yeah, nice to hear him doing stuff on his own with Charlie. Yeah. So now here's the ever controversial Grace Petrie, always got something to say for herself. And here's If There's a Fire in Your Heart.
Dick Goggins said there ain't no gods, excuse me while I shout the odds. The leaders have their cattle prods, but we have the stage. I look around and all I see is disempowered misery, and they dress it up as apathy and say that we don't care. But if there's a fire in your heart, it only needs to be a candle. Every fire in the world started from one spark. Take the fire in all our hearts, we will be more than they can handle. Take my hand in here tonight, and we will light up all the dark. I know there's winter all around, I see your spirits getting down. You thought we would have turned things round a bit by now. I need you to have faith in us, a generation brave enough to build a world on peace and love. It's never too late. 'Cause if there's a fire in your heart, it only needs to be a candle. Every fire in the world started from one spark. Take the fire in all our hearts, we will be more than they can handle. Take my hand in here tonight, and we will light up all the dark. There's a fire in your heart, it only needs to be a candle. Every fire in the world started from one spark. Take the fire in all our hearts, we will be more than they can handle. Take my hand in here tonight, and we will light up all the dark. There's a fire in your heart, it only needs to be a candle. Every fire in the world started from one spark. Take the fire in all our hearts, we will be more than they can handle. Take my hand in here tonight, and we will light up all the dark. 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 If there's a fire in your heart, it only needs to be a candle. Every fire in the world started from one spark. Take the fire in all our hearts, we will be more than they can handle. Take my hand in here tonight, and we will light up all the dark.
That was Grace Petrie there on live, local and loud, with me, Kevin Gaughan, and If There's a Fire in Your Heart. Beautiful song there. Don't forget, if you want to find out anything else about the artists that are featured on today's show, well, you could have a look at their Facebook pages, but also you'll find it all in musicinleicester.co.uk. We do lots of reviews of all their performances, as well as information and live videos and interviews with them as well. So that's www.musicinleicester.co.uk. Now here's Panda Cub featuring the amazing vocals of Sally Hossack and Leaves Begin.
When the trees shiver, lots of leaves, they're best friends. They'll be back again. Feeling thin. Feeling thin. Where is the sun hiding? It's getting colder when all that surrounds me are leaves, delicately crafted to fit in. January, when the trees shiver, lots of leaves, they're best friends. They'll be back again. I'm waiting for you to stop hiding. Oh, where have you been? I miss the colors you bring me. I can't figure out if I feel the way I do without you. All you imagine comes too late. All these little things that get delayed. All because the lady loves to be late. When you're not high. Look so pretty on the outside. When you're not
That was Panda Cub and Sally Hossack and Leaves Begin, with a nice bit of extended hiss on the end there, just to make it feel like it's recorded on one of those old analog tape recorders. Actually, they still use those sometimes to record songs as well. So that pretty much wraps it up here for another week in Live, Local and Loud with me, Kevin Gaughan. I hope you enjoyed this week's show. Don't forget, if you want to find out anything about any of these local artists, you can look them up on their Facebook page or look them up in www.musicinleicester.co.uk, where you'll also see our very handy little gig guide, which has got all the gigs coming up. Of course, now that we're locking down a bit, that's going to be, well, most of those gigs are going to be rescheduled. However, a lot of bands then start doing live streams. So where possible, we'll have a few live streams in our diary as well. So that's www.musicinleicester.co.uk. So do have a great week, and I'll see you 5 o'clock next Thursday on Hermitage FM.